Hold up, let me turn on my Wi-Fi, bro. So it's been a fucking minute. I used to and I still do speak a lot of real shit on these lives. You know what I mean? I'm probably like one of the most realest motherfuckers you can meet out there, speaking the fucking truth. You know what I mean? I got these fucking clowns trying their hardest. They're literally their hardest to try to see me fall. And like whenever I do, it's just a little stumble. It's never falling down directly where I have no um I wouldn't say escape because I'm not trying to escape, but a resolution or a conclusion to the current position that I'm faced with. You know, they want to act like your world revolves around them, which is like it'll never be. It's like trying to make a tree grow without oxygen or water. They could try their best to try to change us, but we're still gonna work how we were made to. We're still gonna function properly where we belong because we keep it real. We don't gotta fake the funk or fake the part or the position that we need to play in our life, in our own life, not in anybody else's life, in your own fucking life. You know what I mean? You're the master of your own world. Everything literally revolves around you because whatever good or bad happens, it happens to you, not anyone else. You're not feeling what anybody else feels. You feel what you feel. And you go through the emotions of life and make the best decisions you can in the future. So, speaking about life, life is what you make it, not what is perceived by everybody else. So, you can have the odds against you. So many people hating on you because you're different, you're special, you're um, prideful, you're honest, you're honorable, you're a soldier, you're not a traitor, you're a fucking trooper, motherfucking starship bitch. You know what I mean? Like you're not perfect, but you are the image of perfection. For he made us in his image. So we don't come trying to act like we're the shit. We are the shit because he created us in his image. So that makes us the shit because of where we come from, who we are, what we represent. That's what makes you in this world, what you believe. So, what do you believe in? Who do you believe in? And what are they teaching and what are you teaching other people? Because that's what you reap and you sow. So, are you sowing evil, discommunication, disconnection, dishonor, disappointment, dysfunction, dismantle, destruction, disobedience, dysfunctional? Or are you sowing obedience, functional, participation, equalization, love, care, participation, because you have to. It's an action to care or a reaction, whatever you want to call it. It takes more to care than to just ignore. If you ignore that plant that you need to water every day, what's going to happen to it? It's going to die. It's going to grow old. If you talk and nourish something and you feed it, it's going to grow. It's going to blossom into something bigger and better. So, by you looking at this system, this control system, what is it trying to do to you? It's trying to hinder you. It's trying to paint a character that is not originally you. It's a portray a character that they are trying to make you into because they're trying to control your life. But we have free will, so we resist, we fight back, we push back. But then there's the majority of people that go along and push for the system of control because they believe in it. They give up their security for, or no, not security. They give up their God given rights for security. They give up privacy for corruption. So you can look at them as a gang or a corporation or an evil entity, whatever you want to look at them as, just people. Men are evil. It says in scripture that men are evil, point blank. Doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, same shit. So they're known to fucking fuck up and do stupid shit. There's nobody guiding your hand at times. Men and women are just capable of doing evil. That's the the abundance of free will, the complication of free will. You get to choose if you want to fuck up or you want to try to help. Do you want to fuck things up more or do you want to help the situation? Simple as that. Some people give up. They say, who gives a fuck? Fuck the world. Let it go to shit. Whoever else is in the world, fuck them too. Let them fucking go to shit. I don't give a fuck what happens to them. They never give a fuck about me, so why should I give a fuck about them? It's easy not to give a fuck, as you just see me display that. To care, to pray for somebody, to show compassion, patience, to sow something that's not of the norm of the action of man, because men are evil. So when people try to tell you that, oh, Jesus is the devil, or that God is not real, or history's been altered, there is some good in us. There is something that has to do with the human being. That's why they don't control us completely. There is some good force that created us that is looking after us that they cannot touch. It's universal law, or else they would have taken over already. Why are they trying to be secretive? Why are they, they're a little bit more and more working in the open. Illuminati and all these Satan worshippers, Freemasons, all this stuff is coming out more into the open. Cloning, Book of Enoch, giants, fallen angels, all this stuff. It's coming more into the open to be a norm for people to understand whose side are they fighting on. Because if the devil wants to be like God, he's going to want soldiers that are willing to participate and follow his orders. He's not going to want little fucking puppets, even though there's a shit ton of them. The real soldiers, the ones that are putting in the work and that are fucking doing the deeds of their father, are the ones that are strategic and think like their father. They're military minded. You don't got these stupid ass perps that are out here doing their little fucking touching of the face, passing by every time you look. That stupid ass shit. These are little fucking guppies. We're in the top tier of the fucking food chain. Why do you think they target us? We don't think like everybody else. We don't react like everybody else. We learn to discipline ourselves mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. We advance in everything that we do. And why is it that a lot of the TIs that they target are talented, have figured something out, know some type of information that the government doesn't want them talking about, have discovered something that is foul, that is distasteful, that is corrupt in our society, and have gotten targeted for it because we choose to speak about it instead of keeping it behind closed doors like everybody else. Just because we want to speak and uphold the truth, we're being prosecuted for it because they see it in our DNA, they see it in our blood, everything about us. They dislike and distaste and want to see us at the lowest that we can be. But it's all up to us. It's all up to how we think, how we react, how we deal with the situation. So you make your own hell or your own heaven, even if the things are bad or not. That's the power of the mind. So I'm going to touch on a subject that is kind of touchy, but I feel like I have to touch on it because it's something personal to me. A lot of people say that the Bible is false and that, you know, things have been altered and that's why, you're known to learn a certain religion, and if you don't go by what the normal standards are of a movement of any kind, you will be looked on and be prosecuted and probably killed if you don't go along with this type of movement. And there has been a lot of Christians or anti-Christians that have been killed because they did not believe, which they're killing in the name of God, but God never, he never prohibited that. He never sanctioned it. So they were acting on their own because they were pushing a certain agenda. And these are people, this is the evil of man. This is not God's doing. God put the pieces on the puzzle to move around. They chose where to move. That's the beauty of free will. You can make this earth a beautiful place or you can make it hell. So men being evil, selfish, corrupt, uh, prideful, egotistic, whatever, they want all the money, they want to control, the people. So since day one, shit has been about control ever since the fucking apple fell from the tree. It's been about control because that's what the enemy has been putting in the minds of the people here. His followers are dedicated to him 100%. They know things that we don't. You know what I mean? Like, how do we know that the Bible is 100% true? How do we know that everything we're being taught isn't a lie if everything's all fucked up? How do we know what's the truth? Where do we go when we die? These are the big questions. You know what I mean? Is there a how? Do we have to pay for the things that we do? Or does nobody not give a fuck and we just go into oblivion, to darkness, to nothingness? We die and we do not exist anymore. But how something so beautiful, so conscious, just seemed to exist. I feel that we are more powerful. We are limited by the body that our soul is captive into. We're limited of the power that we really have if we were working in the spiritual realm. Because I feel it in my bones, I feel it in my spirit, and every molecule and fucking atom that is within my body and existence. I know that we are part of something that is big that we don't understand. And if something created us, obviously, there is a good and a bad. And whatever that good side is, that's what I'm fighting for. That's what I'm fighting for. Because if they wanted to, they would have taken over. They would have forced our hand, whatever they could do to us. But they can't. They haven't. They will not. And I don't worry if they do or not. I'm not worried. I'm not scared of these fucking clowns. Because whatever they have shown me has always been in the physical. It's always been about money, about pride, about ego, about fucking other people's views on your life. It's never been about like something personal, spiritual, like tangible. Like have they we had to go seeking for it. They didn't bring it out of us. They didn't force us to experience it. You can't force a feeling or experience. You can't force somebody to care. You can't force somebody to not care. You can put them in circumstances and watch what happens. So it's up to them if they want to go down a give a fuck path or a caring path. It's all up to them. So that's the big picture that I always look at. I'm just like, damn, I love that we have free will because the enemy hates it so much. He hates that God's children, which were made in his image, have the opportunity or the choice or the gift to be able to discern and fight and keep on fighting and keep on discerning and keep on moving forward and keep on persisting and keep on fucking blessing and contributing and prospering. We were like something that never goes away. The enemy can't get rid of us, and God doesn't want to see us fail. You know what I mean? So he's gonna work the system for however he can, whatever he can. We're running on electricity that's 60 gigahertz. We're surrounded by 60. There's 60 seconds in a minute. There's this world, this existence has been run by evil for a long time. And they've tried to change and tried to fight and tried to paint the wrong picture for people don't know where they come from. If they don't know where they come from, if they don't know their path, if they don't know why they're here, what are they going to fight for? What do they have to live for? The suicide right the suicide uh rates stay the same. The the church rates stay the same, whatever. There's not, if people knew exactly what to do or that there was a god or a devil or whatever, if they knew 100%, would it change the decisions that they make in their life? If they knew that they were going to go to hell or they were going to reap whatever, they're going to reap what they sow, whatever the rules are, if they knew them, would they still make the same decisions? No, they wouldn't. So why does the government keep us in the dark? For a purpose, for control. So religion, honestly, you can't trust in all of it, but you have to find the things within it. There is truth in it. It's just not explained to us properly. We can't utilize the tools properly, and we fail whenever we try to seek God. We feel like we can't hear from him. We don't know where to go. We don't know what to do. But when you have faith, when you have discernment and you have a compass on your heart, you know where to go. You know what to do. You know that you're on the right path. And that's where I'm at right now. No matter what the fuck these fucking coward ass fucking people try to do, I'm gonna keep it 100 to the day that I'm gone, homie. 100. I love everyone that is trying, that is looking out for their brother and sister, and those that are keeping them down. Shame on you, dude. Shame on you, because God, His Son, whatever you want to believe in, they wouldn't do that to you. They would give you a fair chance, no matter whatever has happened to your loved ones or whatever. They had their choice. Things just happen. You can't have control of them. But the time that you're given to use and to do good with, and you just don't do anything with it, you just cause more problems. You're a waste of fucking space. You see, God created us for a reason, to feel and to fucking help other people. If you don't fucking give a fuck and you don't want to help, what the fuck are you doing here? What are you fucking doing here? You're literally causing more pain to other people that you do not want to feel yourself. You don't want to be here. You gave up on life. You gave up on whatever. You see things in a dark way, but why you got to make other people feel the same way as you just because you see it that way? Why do you got to pull other people down with you when we're just trying to keep ourselves up and trying to help others as well? Because we know how hard is it. We know that this world can be a fucked up place. That's why I don't hold a lot of people accountable. I hate what they do. I hate that they're doing this and participating in our gang stalking and the torturing of our lives. But honestly, I don't care really. Honestly, I don't care that you're doing it. It's more like I understand. I understand because I'm not perfect, but still, I know where to draw the line. And like, I don't ever want to cause anybody fucking pain that I already have been through. Why am I going to do that for? There's no purpose to it unless they learn from it if you want to see people. But some people don't handle things the same. Some people can't handle certain pain. Some people are not built to last like us, chosen ones. You can put us through the fire, through the furnace. We're going to last. We're going to stand. We're going to pretty much perceive, freaking just, we're going to pass with flying colors because God gave us a freaking heart of iron, bro. You're gonna run into speed bumps with us. You're not gonna just get a smooth path. It's never gonna just be simple with us. We're complicated. We're freaking precise. Life isn't just plain and simple. If somebody that's living their life that loves to live and loves others and wants them to live, you're not gonna just get a fucking little puppet in under your fucking hands and be like, oh, you're gonna follow suit just like everybody else. The fuck? The fuck you think this shit is? Like, you're living in the matrix. If that's what you want to believe, if you want to give up on everything, then go ahead. That doesn't mean that we're going to, or whoever is strong enough to fucking see it. I know there's something to this life. I don't know what yet, but I know that this isn't the limit of our power, of what we're supposed to do. We were born to do great things, to help people. And like, I can see a world where technology is being used for good and medicine is being used to actually help people. And we didn't have to suffer to pay our bills and stress out and stuff like that. You know how easy it is to make that happen if we all work together? But this system is built for us to be a slave ship and to turn on one another to see who can get the most money and feel inferior to your fellow man, to feel more better than them when you come from the same world, the same womb, the same blood. We're all brothers and sisters when you look deep down at it. We're all human beings. We all come from the same creator. So evil and corruption prosper. Why is that? If God wanted to pretend he was Jesus, why would he plant seeds for people to do good? God doesn't portray himself as good. A house cannot stand against itself. That's why I don't believe in none of that. It doesn't matter what God's name is. You know what you believe in, you know what you feel. You know that God is a loving God, he's a caring God. It doesn't matter what his name is. They'll be like, oh, that Jesus' name is Lucifer. He's pretending to be God or whatever. Like, I've heard supposedly this statement before. Why would the devil be trying to sow good things, praying for people, curing cancer, whatever the heck? Oh, to portray that he's good so you can follow him and just be misled? But isn't the devil evil, right? Did he not question God? Did not 22 fallen angels fall and um they accumulated on top of a mountain? Why do you think when the movies start, if you look at any movie in the theater or in any type of movie scene, look at how the video starts. There's 22 stars that slide against the water and then they all accumulate on top of a mountain. That goes back to like biblical scripture when the devil chose to go against God and question him and they got cast down, 22 of them. So they put this stuff in all of the things, the symbolism around us, and they try to pretend like that's not what it's all about. Whoever is serving the enemy is doing evil things. They don't want to see their brothers or sisters come up or prosper in this world. They want to take something to them, put them in bondage, put them in debt, have soul ties to them, have them sell their soul, whatever that they can get out from people, as long as it benefits them and their career or their whatever they believe in. If they're searching for money and fame, that's what they're gonna sell out for. Which so many freaking people are. It's unbelievable how many people are just like eating up today's generation of like TikTok and like all these new wannabe gangster type people and like it's like I'm not trying to judge. It's just that like man, there's so much bullshit that is going on and they're making it more and more obvious. Like who are you gonna serve? And people are just doing this shit willingly. I see that shit everywhere. I'm just like, damn, like literally it's like Sodom and Gomorrah. This shit is they're just turning into like people that have no regard for God or for justice or for anything that's good. Like shit is gonna pop off eventually, and we're the ones that are gonna pay for it. You know, you just watch all your brothers and sisters fucking suffer through more shit. You're already fucking putting them through shit, but you're just gonna suffer more with them. Like if this was a you know a group type of thing, or what, or we just don't exist. We're being used as food. That's what you want to believe. Aliens, they've invaded our governments and stuff like that. The reptilians, and they're using our bodies as energy to saturate us. They feed off of our fear, off of our pain, whatever, and that's how they stay in power. They keep people dumb, and they just keep having the fucking rich controlling things. Here's some rules here, some rules there. Keep things in line. Some diseases here, diseases there. Give them a solution, just more control. If they can target us the way that they do, they can read our minds, follow us around, know our biometric information, where they can literally just. I mean, I've been targeted so many different ways where I thought was impossible, and they have the technology to do it. So imagine the things that they can do with that if they really were good people, right? They can put the stop on drugs. They can put the stop on human trafficking. They can be like the ultimate force in the war on drugs, on terrorists, on everything. They would literally have this game on lock because they can read people's minds, predict their thoughts, predict their actions that they're about to take. Like if they study them enough or long enough, they can focus energy on them. They can make them go crazy if they really wanted to try. They make them hear voices, and they can do this to anybody at will. But if too many people start complaining, what's going to happen? Savannah syndrome is going to become a reality. how the government is supposedly trying to display it as a syndrome, Savannah syndrome, because human diplomats or CIA agents or anybody that complained about getting hit with radioactive weapons, they painted this, this perception about it, Havana syndrome, like if it's something you can catch, you know what I mean? When all these private security companies, the governments, have this fucking energy weapons, they have pants to it, they fucking use them on a daily basis, and they're trying to act like they don't know what the fuck is happening. They're just like sweep it under the rug. They don't even have a comment for it. The CIA didn't comment on it. The FBI didn't comment on it. They didn't say, "Oh yeah, we have the technology to be able to track where these fucking energies are coming from." No, they don't say that shit. They don't want you to know that they have this technology, because if too many people start talking about it, it's going to open a lot of doors to a lot of questions that they don't want people fucking poking around in, because this is how they fucking control everything. They have the power to literally topple fucking kingdoms or governments or whatever. They have they have been, and so has China, and so has Russia. They all have been sharing technology and kind of working together, different people working together to be able to, like, I don't know, I guess be number one. You know what I mean? There's certain families that are in control, investing monies in certain things, because those are the things that are going to be most important in taking over if things ever fucking went to shit. These are the things that you want to be involved in if you're a corrupt person, because these are the things that are going to last for a long time. People's information, their thoughts, their biometrics, the way that they think, their actions. With all this information, you know what they're going to do, or you can influence them by, you can emit certain frequencies that put people in bad moods. I mean, there's so much stuff I can go on and on that's been patented, has been tested. I have seen in real life, witnessed on videos. Like, this stuff is all been proven and is all easily can be accessed by parties that have certain connections or are invested into this type of technology. Private security companies, the deep state, whatever, certain sectors of the government, they have access and they've have used this technology on multiple people without their consent. And they're only getting more and more grip on the people, more and more and more and more. It's like, to me, like, yeah, I'm being targeted or whatever, but like everybody's literally heading for a fucking trap. Every one of you motherfuckers that are participating, you're gonna get fucked over in the end. I could see it. You're not gonna even be able to take a shit without somebody knowing the time, place, and the thoughts that were in your head at that time. You're literally gonna be surrounded by technology that's collecting information on you on a daily basis. Every single appliance in your house is gonna look at you like another appliance. When the rich and the fucking wealthy and these elitists are looking at you just like consumers. The cops have dominion over you. They can take your fucking freedom anytime that they feel like it, really, without a good defense or attorney. Your freedom is in jeopardy. You don't have much freedom left. But the ones that want to participate, like I said, they're giving privacy for security. They think that they cannot be backstabbed or thrown under the bus or left for dead when the shit goes down. You think the fucking government gives a fucking flying fuck about you? You're just a puppet in a bigger fucking game. And you're playing on the wrong side. Instead of helping your brothers and sisters, you're contributing to the enemy's plan. to all negativity, to all just bullshit that does not have no, like, I can't even put it in a word. Like, it doesn't have any lasting effect. Like, I don't go to sleep worrying about you fucking clowns. Like, honestly, like, I just live my life like you're not even there. It's like every time I hear you or you pop up, it's because you pop up. You try to make yourselves known. But besides that, I hardly ever think about you or even like ponder or fucking like just like keep you in my mind. I just do not like I don't even consider myself targeted. Like I don't even think about it. When I'm playing my games and I'm, trying to look for a job and stuff like that, you think I would apply for a job or I would try to live my life if there was no life to live? Like if I gave up on life, like what am I fighting for, right? Like to you, you guys say like, oh, you're pathetic, you should give up, you should kill yourself, blah blah blah. Your narcissistic way of thinking. To me, I'm just like, dude, you don't even exist. I don't know what your problem is. Like, keep on trying. You're never gonna win. That's my attitude. Like, you don't even exist. I don't know you. I don't know who you are. But you obviously know who I am, supposedly. In your little fucking pea brain, you know who I am because of whatever the fuck they're allowing you to supposedly experience. When when in naturality everything can be manipulated, so how do you know 100% if they're showing you the real thing or 100% the truth, if that's really what I'm thinking or if that's really what I'm feeling? How do you know that they're not manipulating it just to make you feel a certain way about somebody? You don't think that they can change the way that you perceive things if you're relying on that system? You can literally be played for a fool and you would never know because that's how advanced technology has become. They could make you say something that wasn't there. They can make you fucking think thoughts or make you feel like that person is against you when they're really not and they just want to be left the fuck alone. Why do you feel so much hatred and anger towards this person? If you never known them, they never did anything to you. Why do you want to gang stalk them? Why do you want to participate for? Like in your head, what are you thinking? It shit does not make sense to me. Like, oh, you want to test somebody until they fucking explode or till they get violent and hurt somebody you care about or somebody you know or your next door neighbor, whatever. Like, you really want that person to just go off the wall and just hurt somebody. Like, is that what your fucking desire is? That shit is crooked as fuck, bro. I don't know what the fuck, like, why you motherfuckers participate in that shit. But, like, honestly, like, that shit is pathetic as fuck. And you have no respect for me whatsoever. 0%. You fucking people are the epitome of fucking sorry because you continue to do these things. When innocent people that I never knew, I can handle my shit. I can deal with my shit. But innocent people that never deserved it, that never fucking did anything to fucking deserve to be targeted, and you guys are fucking doing that shit to them, those are the real people that I'm fighting for. Because in a way, I feel like maybe, yeah, I deserved it because I'm careless and I've made wrong decisions in my life, hung around with, not so good crowds and stuff like that. Maybe I deserve to get targeted. You know what I mean? Who cares, right? I fucking asked for it, right? But what about the people that didn't? Like, does it matter? Do you look at them any different than you look at me? It doesn't matter what they did or what they supposedly did, which is a fucking lie from hell. None of us are fucking child molesters. None of us have fucking like killed anyone or like has ever like treated really anybody badly. We've always looked out for people and try to help people. That's what I've gotten from most targeted individuals. And I can speak for myself. I'm not a saint, but I want to see people come up. I don't want to see them down. If I see somebody fall, I'm going to help them up. That's just the type of person that I am. And I always have been. Always. Since I was a fucking child. And maybe that's why we're targeted. Because we got too much heart. We give a fuck too much and we see things for what they are. Maybe that's why the enemy fucking fears us so much, because we're powerful. And we can change minds. We can change lives and change people's perception by keeping it real, by keeping it 100. We can get somebody to actually really think and use their fucking brain for once and stop being a little fucking puppet for everybody else just because they fucking enjoy this shit. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to see you fucking tortured and shit. Like, the fuck? You motherfuckers are fucking twisted, homie. You want to see your kid go through that shit? You don't have a choice. If the system picked your fucking kid because he was different, because he gave a fuck too much, and they got targeted, then what? How do you feel about that? You're gonna join their side now? Oh, they're targeting my family. Well, they won't target my family because I fucking, I put in my dues. I'm one of them. So they don't have no right to target my family. You don't got a choice, bro. They want to fucking target whoever the fuck they want, they're gonna target them. You, your cousin, your grandma, whoever the fuck they want to target, they will fucking target them. And they have no remorse about it. And those are the type of people you're fucking working for. That shit does not fucking make sense to me, bro. I don't understand how people are following blindly the system. If I'm wrong, then explain it to me. What is the truth? Tell me in a live. Call me out. Tell me why you guys are doing this. Tell me the truth. Tell me what's your purpose. Are you spreading positivity? Good. What is it exactly? Prove me wrong. You will not be able to come up with the fucking story believable enough to fall for that shit. Right? Because everything you're doing is installing chaos and corruption and confusion and everything else. What do you guys do that's good? You make people realize maybe some things, but you continue, you never give up, you never let up. It's like there's no out. If they learn their lesson, you still target them. They're a target for life until they die. And even still, you're fucking doing fucking fucked up shit. When they're dead, you're like spitting on their name, fucking laughing. I had a homie that put a fucking bullet in his fucking brain because you motherfuckers were fucking with him. I think he had a chance to participate in my own gang stalking. I'm not sure if he took the opportunity to or whatever happened. I'm not sure exactly what happened that night. But motherfuckers that are invested in my gang stalking, they would know what I'm talking about. So rest in peace, Michael Burnett. He suffered for a long time. He lived without his dad and stuff like that, and he's always dealt with like crazy shit. As a kid growing up without a father. My dad was there, and I'm blessed for that. Even though I'm ungrateful, because my dad is a very, very, very hard person to put up with. And honestly, at times I wish that he wasn't there, just to avoid the problems and drama, heartache, depression, anxiety, and just everything you can think of, just to avoid it. But it wasn't all bad. At the time, it felt like it was. This dude has been there, buying me things as a kid. He was there, until I got older. That's when the pride and you think what that you can do in your life and what's best. So you think everything and you rebel and you don't have respect. You don't honor your father or your mother. This fucking world is just like everything you live for. That's what you wake up. It's about you. You're hungry. You're uh horny. You're fucking uh angry, whatever. It's you. That's how it becomes in this world. We think about ourselves so much. It's all always about yourself. That's who else is going to care about you but yourself, right? And the people that are helping you along, they're just there for the time being. But ultimately, if shit goes down, if shit goes bad, it's going to be you that's dealing with it, you yourself and I, and that's it. So who's there for us? Why should we give a fuck? You know, people were raised fucked up. They have no choice but to be narcissistic. You know what I mean? Some of those people I feel bad for, you know what I mean? They've been abused, raped, shit that I could never imagine being going through. You know what I mean? That I don't know if I would be able to handle. You know what I mean? But they did, and they fucking manned up, and they took care of business, and they got through it. It wasn't easy, but everybody has their fucking, you know, their ups and downs in life. Some people get it worse than others. It's all on how you deal with it, how you look at things, how you choose to go about them. So somebody that got their whole family murdered ended up having a family, finding the woman of his dreams, somebody that loved him and he loved her, and had kids, and ended up everything ended up being all right. And then there's some people that got married, their kids died at birth. Then there's some people that got married, they can't have kids. Then there's some fucking people married that you know they lost a child, whatever. There's so many different scenarios. It's just how they dealt with it and who was there for them. So by the way you react to other people and the way that they feel plays a big part on how they choose to go about things in the future. So if you could have been there for that person, if you could have been kind for that person, if you could have helped out that person, or you could have been a dick to that person or whatever and contributed to their downfall or helped them to keep their head up, you're playing a part in their life. You might not really think about it, but the things that you do can literally be somebody's downfall where they kill themselves or where they continue to fight. Because as people, we rely on each other. We don't want to be alone in this fucking world. We want to feel like there's other people out there feeling the same thing that we do, going through the same stuff, that give a fuck about what happens to us. That's what we want to believe. Most of the time, it's not like that. It's opposite. That's why we have to be the ones. We have to be the oddballs. We have to be the fucking chosen ones. The ones that don't fit in. That are the ones that are the coolest motherfucking people in the whole fucking school. I used to get along with everybody, bro. I try to help out anybody I could. People didn't like me for that shit. I used to talk to everybody. I never like, you know, even people if they thought they were nerds or they didn't fit in or whatever, like they would like diss them or they wouldn't talk to them. They weren't popular or whatever. Like I talked to everybody, everybody that I went to school with. I didn't act shady. I didn't try to pretend like I was somebody that I wasn't, even though I was hanging around with a whole different type of crowd. I started getting into just uh surroundings that I didn't grow up around. I didn't grow up around those surroundings. I implanted myself in those surroundings because it looked cool to me. I wanted to somewhat have like a family or a connection, and ended up fucking being dysfunctional and a disconnection because all the people that I was hanging around with were dysfunctional. Some of them looked out for me. I'm not gonna say everything was bad. There's always good and bad. They looked out for me. They fucking, you know, they took me under their wing and fucking taught me some shit, and I learned a lot of different fucking examples and lessons. And all my fucking older homies are locked up or fucking got families. They're not in the streets no more. Most of them wised up and like got their shit together. Some of them still wanted to hang out in the streets. I never really got too much involved in stuff like that because like all the people that I grew up were like more of the older people, and they stopped coming around. So like I pretty much stopped coming around. So I was just kind of looking for like somewhat of a father figure because my dad wasn't really somebody to look up to because he was always drinking and stuff like that. I couldn't rely on him. Like it's not. I'm not trying to like cry and oh whatever. My life was horrible. This is just life problems, experiences that I've had to make me as wise as I'm speaking right now. Because these are rare opportunities. You know what I mean? Like I don't just come and speak on here and fucking like look for an audience and try to like prove shit to people. Like that's never been my objective. I've come in here and speak because I know that there's some people out there that still give a fuck. And the power of that, it fucking it multiplies 100 times um against like negativity or negative thoughts or negative perceptions. Like the real deal, the real truth is that's where everything lies. Like I don't have to fake the funk. I don't have to pretend to be somebody I'm not. I enjoy being myself. I enjoy being honest. I enjoy being able to speak on here and not holding back. Just being myself, being a normal human being and not really judging anybody. You know that's like a gift. That's something you learn to be able to harness. You just don't come up with these gifts and just be able to have them. They take work, it takes practice, it takes dedication. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to boast like, that I'm this fucking wise sensei and shit like that, but I consider myself a OG because of all the shit that I've been through. An OG in a system of corruption in the fucking in the truth movement. You know what I mean? Like keeping it true to yourself, to the people around you, to God, to yourself, like I said. You know what I mean? Just keeping it true. Keeping it 100. When people say, "Oh, I keep it 100, I keep it 1,000," but they keep it like fucking 5%. You know what I mean? Like these motherfuckers ain't even close to 100. You know what I mean? Like I keep it 100. Like at times I might fall, but I still keep it 100 all the time, all the time. Like even if I'm like not coming up on top, you think I always gotta win? Like I'm always winning? That the enemy doesn't have any victories? That's how I learned how to win is by losing, by learning, by experiencing. That's how you learn to live through your errors and your faults. You see, this thing is with targeting, they don't let you learn even if you have. Even if you accept it and you forgive them or you get past it and you want to just move on, what happens when you're targeted is they latch on to you. You're forever marked as a person that cannot have a normal life as long as their system is in place. As long as their system is in place, you cannot live freely. They will not allow you to. You are going to be targeted. You are going to be um, false characterized. You are going to be prosecuted. You're going to be shamed. You're going to be tormented, pretty much. Or at least they're trying to. Because once you learn about what's really important in this world, all that shit doesn't matter. You're the fame, your ego, your fucking image, all that shit does not fucking matter, bro. I don't give a fuck. You think that's what is gonna like stay here when I'm gone? You know what I mean? Like that's what's gonna latch onto me. Like, man, my soul, the way that I see things, the way that I picture things, is like beyond the body. The spiritual realm is like way more complicated, way more intricate, and it's gonna actually be more interesting because who knows the power that we're gonna be able to have or like what's coming next. I don't know exactly what the fuck is gonna happen. I hope that it's better than this bullshit. That's all I know. But even if it is all bad and it looks bad, I'm still gonna be happy and I'm gonna try to uplift my brothers and sisters because that's what we deserve. We deserve to freaking be happy. We deserve to treat each other in a fucking decent manner. Like that's just asking for decency. It's not asking for too much. Just to be a fucking human being, that's not asking for much. I'm not telling you to fucking clean my feet, wash my feet like Jesus and prepare me a fucking meal. I'm just saying, have some fucking common courtesy and say hi and don't fucking participate in our fucking gang stalking. Like, don't fucking poison our food. Don't fucking take any weapons from the enemy and fucking try to project them on us and shit like that. Like all this fucking extra shit that they're doing to us, it's just above and beyond. It's above and beyond. Do you not understand that you are getting so much more attention than ordinary people do? You're getting the extra amount of attention. And it's not that we want the attention. It's because how else are they supposed to test their weapons and get the results that they want if they don't continuously torture you like fucking Nazi Germany? You think the wise and the rich are going to be in power and the helpful? Some of them do, and they help and they try to help. Some of them get killed. Some of them go missing. But with this technology, like I said, the government can run the world like nothing. But they're not. They're running the world, all right. They're controlling that shit. They control the drugs. They control the human trafficking. They control the fucking street lights, the cameras, your biometrics. They know where you're at, even if you don't have a fucking phone on you. And how the fuck is drugs still a relevant thing? And kidnappings and fucking and child fucking trafficking and all this bullshit still exist because they fucking allow it to be. These fucking pieces of fucking shit that these fucking perps are supporting. They're supporting a satanic and crooked and evil fucking system. You got to understand that. You have to grasp that shit. Some of these people know exactly who they're working for. All right. So forgive me not to feel pity, but God is your judge. I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to point you in the right direction. And hopefully you heed my words. Because I don't want to see anybody go to hell. It's not really a fun place to be. This is fucking what? Kindergarten compared to fucking hell. I can handle this targeting shit all fucking day long, 24/7. I don't give a fuck. Because I'm a soldier. And I'll fight for what I believe in. But you send me to hell with all these fucking demonic motherfuckers that prey on everything that is good, know your fucking fears and your doubts and everything that is about you, and play on those things in however way that they want to torment your ass continuously, ongoing, forever and ever. That's how it's explained in the Bible. I don't know if that's true, but I'm not going to take a fucking chance to find out. That's for sure. And I'm not doing good just because I'm in fear of going to a bad place. I want to do good because I want to do good. I want to. Even if I knew I was going to a bad place, I like honestly, I want to be evil. I sometimes don't want to give a fuck. And I try to like ponder on that and I try to kind of give into that energy, but it's not of me. Like I just know it doesn't fit in right. Like I can't like continue to go down that path. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. I don't know whatever I have done through all my life. I've turned my back on God. I've fucking blasphemed his name. I've my faith has been tested multiple times and it still is till I'm gone. It's a constant test. But what I realize is how God made us so beautiful and intricate beings, not to be simply understood. And the way that you can love somebody and experience that love is unprofound. I cannot explain how to care for someone so much. That feeling is just it's unmeasurable. Even if they don't deserve it, you still love them because of the person that they are. I've been in love. I've got to experience that. So would I rather give up on everything, never been born, never existed, never have loved, rather have you just take me out of this world. I don't want to ever be born. So would you rather have loved and lost than to never have loved at all? I appreciate the time that I've had on this fucking flat earth. I I learned like from the bad and the good. But when I measure things out and I look at them and I'm like, which one has more um like essence in my life? Which one has more meaning? Is it the good or the bad? And the good always outmeasures the bad. Always, because it's a whole completely different feeling. I've been at the lowest of low where I wanted to commit suicide. I have marks on my freaking wrists and stuff like that, like where I was just listening to things that I shouldn't be listening to. I was pretty much feeding my body, my spirit with things that were very unhealthy for it, very destructive, chaotic. And you just keep going down that hole day after day, thinking just this shit's never gonna change. There's nothing to life. Like, just die. Just fucking die. Everyone die. All of you fucking burn in fucking hell. None of you ever give a fuck about me. Like, just be the most negative fucking just most just fucking destructive being and just dwell on the fucking nothingness. You get comfortable there sometimes. You feel at peace because you don't have to feel anything and nobody can hurt you. But feeling love and being loved by someone is way more better. Way more like relatable. It's understandable. You understand why you were put here when you give a fuck. Like, if you actually embrace that shit. So like this person that I loved, I would probably want to get back into their life, but what I'm going through, I don't want to put on them, and I'm still dealing with it. So I don't want to kind of throw the burden on them, even though they would make me so happy just being around them, even though I was getting tortured every day. It wouldn't matter. Just being with them would make things probably 10 times more better. But isn't that how I should feel about God? Right? And that's the reason why I lost her in the first place. Because I was fornicating and putting her first, and I cared about her more than I cared about God. And she warned me. She told me, if you keep on going down this road, like, we're not gonna last. Like, he's gonna interfere with it, and like we're not gonna end up being together. And shit happened, and boom, the exact thing that she said happened. And I couldn't be mad because I knew that I was in the wrong, and I didn't deserve to continue having that relationship, because I still needed to work on myself, and I still had to get shit in order, like my life, my mental positioning. Like, I still had trauma and stuff like that that I was dealing with, and I never got over. You can't depend on somebody to make you happy. but it doesn't mean that we have to be shitty people and we can't be good to one another. And that's what she was to me. She was a friend. She was good to me. She made me have very positive experiences that I'll never forget. She was the first one to invite me to church, and like we're actually started to build a relationship with God instead of just like kind of being in the not knowing. You know what I mean? Like not ever really getting involved. You're just like, oh yeah, I know about God, but I never read the Bible. I've never went to church. I never felt part of a family or anything like that. So she gave me that by taking me in and trusting me, like, and being a friend. So we're selfish. We think we know what's best, and I made the wrong decisions. And so like when she left me, it took me a long time to get over her, dude. Like this was the only probably girl that I've actually like fell in love with and like knew that I freaking loved her like 100% without a doubt. Like and all my other relationships were like just problems, or I didn't feel the same about them, and it was just it wasn't the same. It was never the same. Like when you're with them, you just felt like you were their like other half, or like they completed like something that you were missing. And it's just like being around them was just like it was just like it felt right. It was perfect. Like just you couldn't ask for anything better. So like losing that, knowing you had that, and and then just like kind of blaming God, like what the hell, like you know what I mean? You give me this blessing, you're showing me like the family that I could have and like these things that I'm feeling, and like and then you just want to take it all away. And it's like he already knows, like, dude, like I'm not doing it to you, you're doing it to yourself. I mean, he's a jealous guy. He wants you to put him first. And if I would have done that, I probably would have, things would have worked out between us. But things happen for a reason. I needed to learn. So when she left, because things weren't working out, she like pretty much like was callous and cold about it, which kind of made it hard for me to like get over. But I was tripping on God, and I was just like, man, like what the fuck, like you know what I mean, like what the fuck am I supposed to do now? And then like just I never got it just for a long time. I was just dealing with it. I was stuck on her, just moping around, not fucking like just being myself. I didn't feel the same. I didn't know how to get over her for like years, dude, like years. But for the first 2 years, I finally had a breakthrough because God kind of spoke to me, and he's just like, look, like I used her as a stepping stone so that you can build a relationship with me. So she was being used so that you can be in the right place where you needed to be with me. So like she will leave you and forsake you, but I will never leave you nor forsake you. I'm still here. You're praying to me while she's gone. She left you. She's not looking back. But I'm still here, my son. You know what I mean? Like he was always there. As long as you like ask for it or you seek them out. Like he was there. And I was just like tripping out. Like this was he was meant to show me, like from the gate. Like he already knew that was gonna happen. And he was just like showing me like, bro, like I'm gonna be here. You need to trust in me. Like future endeavors, everything. Like when everybody else is gone, I'm the only one that's gonna be here by your side. So that's where a lot of my faith came in, because I questioned a lot of things for a long time, and I just had this really fucked up way of looking at life because of the things that I went through. So even before that I was targeted or gang stalked or whatever, I was already going through fucking bullshit. Bullshit that's way too much for any young person to deal with. Way too much. I mean, it's equal to the level of targeting. That's the shit that I was going through. It was equal to that. What I was dealing with in my mind and my spirit and my and my being, whatever. Had really bad anxiety, and I couldn't even be around people and shit like that. It would like take over me, and I couldn't control my fucking like my nerves or whatever. I felt uncomfortable. I didn't want to be around people. I never wanted to leave the house. I uh I hated large crowds because like everybody would just be talking, blah blah blah. You just hear this loud noise of everybody talking, and it's just like you felt out of place, and you just like we're like fucking like you wanted to get out of there. You didn't want to be around people. Like something just didn't sit right. I just felt that. And I don't know why. So fucking time goes by and fucking this shit ends up happening to me, and I have to deal with that plus the fucking targeting. So I had to fucking snap out of that shit real quick because they were using it to their advantage. And they're using my downfall, my fucking my dysfunctional life or whatever you wanted to call it, my downfalls to use against me to like pretty much like conquer you. Like they have a control over you. Like you're like kind of a prisoner in your own mind. And then they can play on your emotions and shit like that. So this was constantly being tested. Like every time I was around people, they start acting funny. You know what I mean? They start fucking doing all kinds of stupid shit, like trying to make me feel some type of way. Until I just fucking had enough, and I said, man, like where I was starting to square up with people, bro. I started to square up with people. Like you're not gonna be pulling that shit around me, homie. You have a fucking problem with me? Let's go right now, homie. Like fuck your fucking little games, bitch ass nigga. Like I'll show you who the fucking real motherfucker is when I fucking beat your ass, and then you can't take that ass beating, so you fucking have to come through with like your boys or like a gun or some shit because you can't take a loss. You know what I mean? Like these people that are like trying to do shit to you, they're very like sore losers. They don't know how to deal with life. There a lot of these people are narcissistic motherfuckers. Like they don't give a fuck about you, dude. They want to see you like just drown and fucking just all kinds of stuff. Anything that they can do to you, it like makes them happy. As long as it's stressing you out or fucking with your life somehow. And it's like it's crazy the amount of people that are like willing to participate. Like I'm just like I barely move here, and it's like all my fucking neighbors are already gang stalking me. Like what drives these motherfuckers to like be so dedicated to this shit? You know what I mean? Like it's their god, literally. It's a trip, dude. Like I don't understand it sometimes. Like it shit baffles me sometimes, bro. I don't get it, bro. Like I know there's more of us out there. You know what I mean? I know there's people that still give a fuck that want to see some type of good. Like, but they just seem to be fucking absent, bro. They're like nowhere to be found. And it kind of puts you in the hopeless kind of area. But it says many are called, but few are chosen. You know what I mean? Like that's why I said it takes a real motherfucker to really be honest about how he feels about shit than to be faking it and being like, yeah, like I want girls, I want money, I want this, I want that. I don't give a fuck about nothing. That's just being like every Tom, Dick, and Harry. What the fuck? What are you doing? What are you actually doing? Like what are you leaving behind? What are you gonna be proud of when you die from this world and you leave this place? Or how many bitches I fucked, or how much fucking racks I stacked, or how many fucking people I got over on. Like that's what you want your legacy to be? Just a bunch of fucking bullshit that don't matter. Instead of helping somebody, lifting them up, like helping them get a job, whatever they need help in, like just at least trying to. You don't have to go fucking above and beyond and try to walk on water and shit like that. You're not trying to save the world. You're just trying to be human being and try to help as much people as you can possible. So if you're tired or you're weak or you're doubting, like you don't do it. You wait, you fucking ask for discernment, you ask for guidance, whatever you have to do. Just don't be fake about it. Be real. Like real to yourself, not to me. You ain't fucking proving shit to me. I don't need to know if you're real or not. Honestly, it'll be cool to know some real people, but that's pretty much your choice. You know what I mean? Like it ain't gonna bother me if you're fucking fake or not. That's your choice. That's the beauty of free will. When it's naturally accessed, like when somebody is actually doing it and you're just like, wow, that person's real. That's dope. like rare to see, but motherfucking real motherfucker right there. That's what's up. That's just their dying breed, homie. Dying breed of real motherfuckers. Straight up. I don't give a fuck about jail. I don't give a fuck about gangs. I don't give a fuck about this fucking perp game. I don't give a fuck about my name. I don't give a fuck about fucking fame, about fucking popularity. None of that shit means anything to me anymore, bro. What I give a fuck about is other motherfucking people, bro. If I'm happy, we're all happy. If you're not happy, fucking tell me what I could do to help you, bro. I'm here for you. You know what I mean? Like, you need a fucking shoulder to fucking talk to, whatever. I'm right here, bro. Like, I put out my number. I tell anybody to holler at me. I don't care where they come from. Like, even difficult people have called me and like literally like unburdening themselves on me. Like, they only call me when they're stressed out or they're dealing with something. You know what I mean? Like, and I check in with everybody, but like when they come difficult and they use you as a crutch instead of like just kind of like being real about it, then it becomes like something that's not natural, and then you just don't want to talk to these people because and then plus two, if you're seeing like perp signs and shit and they only call you at certain times, or like they're trying to get some type of response from you so that they can like uh how's it get brownie points for their fucking little program or whatever. Like, you can tell, dude, you can tell who's trying to fuck with you or who's not. You know what I mean? Like, motherfuckers that keep it real, there won't be no confrontation, there won't be no guessing or what ifs, because they don't ask stupid questions. They just try to help. You know what I mean? I don't want to know where you're at. You don't have to give me money. You don't have to. You know what I mean? You don't have to call me all the time. It's cool. I'll call you, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I'll just see how you're doing. Like, hey, what's up? Just checking in. How you doing or whatever. And they'll be like, oh, I'm good, whatever, blah blah. And then they never hit me back up. So I'm usually the one to call people. But do I feel bad? It's like it's like this video that I watched recently. They said it's a give and take society, where if you tell somebody you love them, you say it to them because you expect them to say it back. But what is really the use in saying you love somebody and not hearing it back? Like, because you meant it, does it mean that just because they don't say it back that you didn't mean it? You know what I mean? Like, just because they don't say it back doesn't mean that you didn't love them. It's fine if they don't say that they love you back, because I don't want to. It doesn't matter if you don't say it back. I still love you. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I feel. I love you. I care about you. Like, it's cool. You don't have to return the the same response. It's just like God. Like, he loved us. Like, do we have to tell him that we love him? We really don't. That's why we have a free will. We can hate him until we die and still believe in him, because of the way we look at the world or whatever. But you don't tell somebody you love them just to expect to hear it back. It doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like, even if they don't love you, even if they don't deserve it, if you love somebody, there's no conditions to that love. You know what I mean? Like, I loved people that hurt me and I still love them. You know what I mean? They still fucking backstab me probably to this day. Do I still love them? Yep. Because of everything that we've been through. It wasn't always bad, you know, but like, why should I hold resentment or like a grudge or whatever towards you? You know what I mean? Like, if it just puts a hindrance on me, it stays with me. You know what I mean? I'm not free. I'm confined by this emotion that I'm feeling, this betrayal or anger or whatever. I'm confined by it because it has a hold on to me. I'm holding on to it. When you're free, when you love somebody, you don't hold on to that. It's freely given. It's acceptance, you can move on. So that's why a lot of the shit that's happening to us, people that you could never forgive, you should start to learn to forgive them for yourself, not for them. It's for yourself. It's to make you feel better because you're not like them. You know, you don't want that shit holding on to you. You want to let that shit go. For real, for real. I'm just telling you so that you can prosper and benefit and keep on moving forward. You know what I mean? Like I'm speaking to everybody right now, dude. Like I don't have no hatred right now in my heart. I don't give a fuck what happens tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like cuz I know what I'm going to do. I have a plan. You know what I mean? Like I already know what's going to happen cuz I believe in myself and I believe in a higher power. And like really nobody can stop me. Like they can't really do anything about it. They can't do nothing about my faith. They can't do nothing about how I feel. And they can't do nothing about the actions that I take, whether good or bad. If I really want to do something bad, I can just go do it and nobody's going to stop me. Am I going to? It all depends on the person, if they're strong or weak. And for those who have become weak, you know, you know what I mean? I don't hold any resentment towards you. I understand. You know what I mean? Like, dude, this shit is ain't easy to deal with. Motherfuckers will become violent. They will do things that they didn't never wanted to do just to make it stop, just to get a peace of mind, just to stop hearing the voices, stop hearing the frequencies, stop being fucked with, stop being used like a fucking like a puppet. You know what I mean? Some people just wanted to stop. And the government doesn't give a fuck. They just keep on and keep on and keep on. Nobody listens to you, nobody cares. Nobody can prove it. And it's fucked up. It's fucked up big time for those that have chosen to speak up about very, very corrupt and evil things that are going on within our government and that have gotten targeted for it and killed for it. Those are really the real people that I fucking that I feel, you know, very um passionate towards because they never asked for it. You know what I mean? Like I've made stupid decisions that doesn't deserve me to get targeted every fucking day of my life till I'm gone. But I did have to learn an example for some of the things that I did. And they were not very, you know, very fucking tragic or fucking crazy or whatever. It's probably like normal mistakes that fucking human beings make. But I've never hurt anybody. I've never fucking or intentionally hurted anybody. I've never wanted to cause harm to anyone. You know what I mean? Like it was never in my intentions to ever like just do bad towards people. So it was just like the circumstance at the time. You just make a quick decision and you don't think about it, and you fucking you know shit happens. And it's a small thing, like it's small. You know, like fucking taking a little candy bar at the store. You know, just like something like that, just get you fucking thrown into this fucking system. Just whoever you piss off, it has to be like, because I think that they were watching us for a long time. I think I was being watched before I started getting targeted. They knew who I was. People knew who I was. Um, I think they were collecting information on me a while back, and then once I got attention on myself because of the people that I was hanging around with, some shit happened, and then some people probably wanted to cause harm to me, and the targeting stepped in and said, "No, like this is, you know what I mean? This is our guy. We're gonna put him in the program." Like they already had an eye on me, so they either were involved, and that's the reason why I got thrown into the program, or they already had an eye on me and they intervened in the situation that happened, and then they put me in the program. But honestly, in my opinion, I think that the person that I think that involved me into this bullshit was a perp, and I didn't know it at the time. I didn't never knew about gang stalking. I never knew about none of this shit. So I think I got on this fucking perp's bad side. He worked, for some higher up perps, and once they kind of focused their attention on me, that's when they fucking put me in the program. I started seeing people following me all the time and all kinds of weird shit. And these people that were involved were just ordinary criminals. They're just like pretty much kind of like nobodies, but they, I guess, made a name for themselves in the perp community, and that's why uh, I probably started getting targeted. But like simple shit like that, you know what I mean? Like I didn't go to the FBI and fucking have some information that I need to review and shit like that. No, these people have infiltrated the government. They live all around us. They're training people to be, citizen corp, whatever you want to call it. They're supposedly, I don't know if they call them watchers. Not watchers. They call them some other fucking lame ass name. But it's like part of the InfraGard, Neighborhood Watch, all that bullshit put together. Uh, they've gotten organized, and they're a criminal organization, pretty much. You just probably call them the mafia. That's what they are, because that's what I would do if I had this technology. You know what I mean? Like this shit comes from Hollywood and like people that are high up there. Like they want to take somebody out, like John Epstein or whoever the fuck these fools that knew information, the fucking about those islands and stuff where people were getting fucking molested and shit like that. Like they killed this dude in jail and they fucking fucked his heart up. And supposedly they said he hanged himself or whatever. Like anybody that is part of that lifestyle that knows where this shit generates from, they will get killed automatically. And like nobody will fucking be the wiser. There'll be no investigation because the fucking goddamn cops are involved. There won't be no questions because they know that there's certain fucking entities that are involved and that you can't fuck with these certain people, especially if you're in that fucking lifestyle. You know what I mean? And you're participating with shit like that. It allows the enemy to pretty much have full access of you, unless God's grace is abundant on your life and you get lucky. But if you're, you know, partying with these Satan worshippers and participating in witchcraft and these rituals and stuff like that, you're gambling with your soul. So if if shit goes south, you never know what's gonna happen. You're gambling, like I said. Nobody knows. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna be doing when my time's up. Like, is it gonna be worth enough? Like, am I gonna make it? Like, not really worried about it. All I know is God knows where my heart's at, and like I've always been had a heart for His people. So if that's not enough, then whatever. Send me to hell. Send me to wherever. I don't care. Just like as long as it's over. You know what I mean? Like you graduated and you go to the next place. Like that's all that matters. Like even if it's nowhere, even if your end comes to like a non-existence. Like as long as it's over, you ran the race. Whatever. Like I'm not worried about if there's an afterlife or not or anything like that. Like this life is enough life for like one person. You know what I mean? Like I've gotten enough of life here that can last a pretty long time. And not that I've seen everything. I don't know things in the spirit realm and stuff like that. But if I can actually make a real difference where God can use me, and and I can be implemented in His plan, then I would love to participate. But I don't want to be sitting in the dark like how we are now, not being instructed or given the tools to be able to fight back, because we only know so much. We can only pray and like ask for guidance so much until we feel like we just don't really know where we're going. I want to be like executive, like 100% know what you're doing, where you're going, and who's your God and like what your purpose is here for. Like if you had those principles, a lot of this stuff wouldn't even matter. You know what I mean? So if I'm gonna be used in that manner, like, dude, just tell me when and where. Tell me what I have to do. You know what I mean? Because I'm not doing anything here. I'm literally sitting here talking to you guys and getting fucking tortured. I might as well be fighting a good fight and try to do something to help other people. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna just be selfish and think about myself, keep my mouth shut, and expect these fucking cowards to leave me alone. You guys already know that that doesn't happen. So, what other choice do you have? But I'd rather fight. That's the thing. Even if I don't have a choice, I'm gonna fight because that's how I was. That's how I was born. That's how I was born. I'm not gonna give up on my natural abilities, instincts to defend what is right. Just because so many people love this corrupt fucking system, they fucking love it. They're fucking drooling all over it. Imagine having an upper hand in life. You know what I mean? Like, you know the girls you're getting involved with because you can spy on them or whatever, or you know information about them. You know what I mean? Like, you know where they're at, you know what they're doing. You can read their mind. You can play these games with them too, depending on your position, and you can like ruin people's lives, or you can, whatever. You can do whatever. You have pretty much like control. You know what I mean? Like so much control that just depending on that person's state of mind, how they can handle things, it's gonna be a big implementation on what you do. Like if they're weak minded, they might commit suicide or something else. Like they're gonna go down a fucked up path that you contributed to. Like, yeah, I'm good on that shit. You know what I mean? Like I don't wanna fucking be causing any fucking problems for anybody, you know what I mean? But that's just me. I'm already like kind of going in circles with this shit. But I just want you guys to kind of understand like where I'm coming from. You know what I mean? Because like I don't know when I'm gonna be gone. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to talk to you guys again. But I'm gonna reach somebody. Somebody's gonna hear this and they're gonna be like, damn, like really like could smack you into reality. Where like you're just like, fuck, like what am I doing with myself? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is the point of this shit? Like, if I'm not doing something, then what the fuck am I doing? You're just biding fucking time. You know what I mean? Like till the shit fucking hits the fan. And it kind of sucks that it has to be that way. Cause I feel like we're meant for so much more. You know what I mean? We're put on this place to do like so much more. You know what I mean? Like this isn't uh the full function of our abilities. You know what I mean? Just to be fucking slaves and fuck with one another and like put each other down and go to war and fucking just all the kinds of bullshit. This is what we're fucking put here to do. Like it's not. And that's why like I don't get it like why how so many people are comfortable with it, like the money, the fame, the exception from their community, like it makes them feel good. You know what I mean? Like they feel part of a family too, right? So they're gonna go and do whatever the fuck that makes them feel happy, even if it's fucked up, as long as it's not happening to me. You know what I mean? That's how they think. As long as I'm not fucking going through it, I don't give a fuck. I don't care how many people fucking I gotta step on to get to the top. Even if it's a fucking little kid or a dog or a cat or a fucking newborn, I'll step on that shit to get to the top. That's how fucking a lot of people are, dude. Like that's how fucked up shit is. Like they'd really like throw people under the bus like that and not really give a fuck. until their fucking asses put on the fire and they're like questioning their fucking, future endeavors. But anyways, I'm not here to fucking condemn people and tell them, heaven and hell and do good and blah blah. Like, we have a free will. That's the beauty of it, right? So without bad, how's there gonna be good? Sometimes I feel like sometimes that there should be a necessary evil, but not how the way that they're taking it or the way that they're going about it. The way that they're going about it is not evil, it's insanity. It's it's destruction, just like it says that he's a destroyer. He doesn't want to just ruin your life, he wants to destroy it. He doesn't want you getting back up. There's no fucking you know what I mean? Like, there's no, like, fucking nine lives and shit. Like, he's playing on every fucking angle that he can until you make a mistake and it's checkmate. And then fucking all the perps will finally be happy. You know what I mean? You're gone. They'll move on to the next target. Shit's a trip, bro. I haven't talked like this for a minute, but honestly, like, it doesn't even really matter, bro. Like, when I'm gone from this place, where I'm expecting to go is way more interesting than this fucking place. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna just sit around and fucking not do nothing. As soon as I'm given the power or the opportunity to make a difference, I'm gonna act on this shit so quick, not even funny. And that's why I can't wait. Like, sometimes I can't wait. I don't know what's gonna happen after this shit. We might be given power that we don't know that we have, or whatever the case is. But all I know is I ain't going out without a fight. I ain't no fucking punk. Homie, like, this fucking program is a fucking bitch. It's made by a fucking bitch. It's all just, battle the mind, battle the wits. Stupid shit. Because honestly, like, I've been tested somewhat spiritually, obviously physically, mentally. But the spiritual side, I still feel like there's a lot left to, like, experience. Like, the gang stalking is physical, it's like of the flesh, of the body, the mind. But, like, meditating and, like, actually dealing with, like, struggles that you have to, like, make yourself a better person, like, those are not really being addressed. Like, the enemy isn't coming for you there, or at least for me. Like, I feel like they ignore that stuff. They always want to focus on the physical, on the present, to keep your attention there. You know what I mean? So it's always just like the world. It has to do with the world. When you go out, like, you're part of the world, even though you don't want to be. To, like, exist in this flat Earth, you have to make money. You have to do, things to survive. In the spiritual realm, there's no bullshit like that. So that's why it's life is complicated, bro. You gotta know, where you're going, what you're about. You know what I mean? Like, don't let these fucking perps, like, put thoughts in your head that you're not special, or you're not loved, or whatever the case is. Like, don't let them paint your perception. Let God do that. I mean, I've always let God do that for me. I never give a fuck about what these fucking perps think. You know what I mean? Like, they might grab my attention for a second, but like, it obviously and never will ever mean anything that's tangible to me, that is long lasting and will latch on to me. You know what I mean? Like, none of this shit is like, it's futile because of where I come from and what I've learned. You can't keep a good man down, no matter what. Can't, no matter what the fuck you do. So, these perps are gonna continue trying, trust and believe. I don't give a fuck. I don't expect them to stop. I don't really care if they do. That's their fucking life, not mine. Um, all I know is that I'm gonna fucking be happy, bro. Like, during all this bullshit, I'm gonna remain happy. I'm gonna keep a positive attitude as much as possible that I can. You know, um, we all get impatient, so you know, bear with me. But yeah, I think shit, what the fuck? My phone's about to die. Oh shit. I don't know how long you guys are gonna stay up for, but I think I can talk for like maybe 10 or 15 more minutes. Getting kind of tired already. Just don't waste your life, bro. Like, worrying about this shit. Like, honestly, these fucking people are not like, they're not worth anything, dude. Like, if they want to be a part of that lifestyle, then let them. But like, anybody that's willing to listen and willing to like actually like, give a fuck or take the time to, then yeah, talk to them. Not everybody's the same. Some people you might change their mind. You know what I mean? Like, the ones that don't care, the ones that want to stay in that type of shit, then like, go ahead. Like, I don't care if you do or you don't. God is the one that cares the most. I don't. I should care a little bit more, but I can't care for you. You know what I mean? This is something you have to do on your own. Like, it's just human nature. You have to figure shit out. But yeah, I feel sad for a lot of people, dude. Like, cause they don't have this, they can't build this. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just make the shit up and like just expect to feel good. You know what I mean? Like, this is a process. This is something that you have to choose to like discipline yourself with. I didn't just come and just be all fucking happy go lucky in one day and just know everything and shit. Like, nah, I had to fucking learn like through all kinds of fucking experiences, and I'm still learning. You know what I mean? Just luckily, I'm blessed with the as much experiences as I have now to be able to talk to other people and put an input on my fucking life and how to help theirs. You know, um, but it wasn't easy. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like I just fucking skated through this shit. You know what I mean? With no scars or cuts or bruises or whatever. You know what I mean? This shit's not easy. Yo, yo, yo. Luckily, I had another battery charging. But I want to talk about something else real quick for those who are listening. Whoever is going through this shit, you know what I mean? Like, I feel your pain. You know what I mean? Like, if you've stood strong and haven't given in to the enemy and joined their sides, I admire you for that. And if you have, you know what I mean? Like, if you couldn't stand your targeting and you had no, you felt like you had no choice. I don't judge you, but that probably wasn't the right decision. But I'm not mad at you. Like I said, I'm just trying to do what I need to do here. You know what I mean? Like, it's your own choice what you do with your life. Um, but it was interesting today because I had mentioned something to one of my friends. Um, and well, not friends. I mean, old acquaintances. The word friends is kind of thrown around a lot, like thrown around for me when probably a lot of these people are planning on my downfall instead of actually being friends. So I gotta just tell it like it is. Uh, so when I had gotten this camper back because somebody was staying in it temporarily, I had gotten it back. This guy was taking out his stuff before I moved it, and he had came I think like twice, and he got most of his stuff out. And then I had gotten the camper onto a tow truck, and it was already almost ready to be towed. And he came again and hopped up on the tow truck and was looking in a specific area for something that he said he had left, which I didn't really pay attention to what it was, but I was paying attention to where he was looking. And long story short, he ends up taking off and grabbed whatever he needed. And little did I know that he left something behind. Right. So um, I I didn't find this stuff till like later on. So I parked the camper and I started to clean it out. And I was cleaning in the area that he was looking for something in. There was a lot of trash right there and whatnot, and I ended up finding some drugs. Right. So I was just like, this is exactly where he was kind of reaching in and stuff, and like a lot of weird stuff happened before I ended up getting the camper. So I kind of had a strong suspicion that somebody had told them to go and to leave this stuff here purposely. Like this, it was a bad batch of drugs, specifically to probably target certain parts of the brain so that your targeting can go up and be amplified like very strongly. So I looked at it and I was just like, man, like I've dabbled here and there, in the past or whatever, but I just told myself like, dude, I'm not gonna give them space to try to like um capitalize on my targeting, because every time that I would mess up, my targeting would go up, and I learned a long time ago, because I'm older now. I'm already 34, about to be 35, so as a younger uh, you know, teenager, you experiment with stuff and whatever. So, I learned that this stuff wasn't good for you, just in general. But being a targeted individual, you have to be careful what you uh consume, because they're trying to like, they're trying to bury us. They're trying to get us to mess up in any type of way that we can. They can, I mean. So I just was just like curious, and I was just like, man, like I told this dude that I know, I told him, hey, like, I found some stuff, but like, I don't want it. Like, do you want it? Like, you can have it. So I just told him like, just be careful with it, because I don't know, like, I think that stuff's bad. So I let him know, you know what I mean? So he's like, oh, don't worry about it. Like, I'm gonna wash it before I even try it. So I didn't know about this, but there's certain chemicals you can use to clean certain things. And it takes out like certain impurities. from these drugs, right? So I didn't know that this was possible. So he told me like he had tested the stuff that I gave him, and he said that it was all bullshit, that there was nothing left. Usually when you test it with these chemicals, there's, only the purities are left from what you want to keep, and you do whatever you want with the remaining stuff, and it's cleaned, it's washed. That's why they call it washed. So I was just like, he's like, there was nothing left. Like all that shit was just bullshit. So I was just like, it just only made me think more, and I was just like, wow, like they're literally trying to like plant stuff around me to get me to fall, like thinking that I'm gonna go back to, like old, very old habits. But it's just funny that, that I had to go to that extent to pretty much confirm my assumption. Like I knew that he left that for me because it was in the exact place that he was looking in. And I know who told him to go leave it there. It was supposedly this gangster dude that was trying to like claim my camper, like because I had the person that I let stay there was allowing too many people to chill right there, so they got the assumption that they like, owned it, like if they, because it's parked in their hood or whatever. And I told them, dude, I don't give a fuck what you guys have worked out, like I'm coming tomorrow and towing the shit. So I'm just letting you guys know ahead of time, like get your shit out because I'm gonna come. And like he tried to intimidate me and try to intimidate the people that I brought with me to try to like not allow me to get the camper because I had to leave my house because of the pole that they installed. And so my car had those problems with my car, so I couldn't use my car. So the only option for me was to get the camper. So I got the camper and then I ended up transferring it over here. So like it's just crazy, dude. Like they would literally go above and beyond, and like whenever I would mess up, like it would remind me, like when I was targeted, right? Well, I'm still am, but that whenever I would mess up, like I would see a bunch of people like staring at their phones, like they were all gathering up around a bonfire. It's like they knew my intentions. Like they were waiting for me to mess up so that their system could be amplified and then they can mess with me more. And it's like they were anticipating it. Like I can tell on their face and their like their posture and stuff like that. Like they knew like that I was up to no good. But and they were just kind of like waiting for me to mess up. And like they knew it though. Like it was like interesting. It's like all of them are waiting for you to like mess up. Like it was just funny because I'll look around me and I'll be like they're all fucking anticipating, like just so that they could get a kick out of your targeting. Like so that their system is working more of a benefit for them, and they're able to mess with you more. So it's like a little kid, having a toy, but he doesn't really like the toy because it doesn't have all the accessories to it, right? But then he gets like the upgraded version of it, and it's all like so much better. You know what I mean? Like that's how they are, like little fucking kids. You make a mistake or something like that, and then they want to like, they're all fucking like if it's Christmas, waiting under the Christmas tree and shit. Like this is all like so they're so dedicated to the system and like your life that they're like watching your every move. And not only that, they're like, I mean, they're collecting your biometrics and all that stuff. So whenever you smoke weed or you drink alcohol, they know. I've confirmed it, like with them passing by, flying over me, like, just the targeting changing whenever, I would consume any type of like beverage or substance or whatever. I would automatically just, I can tell. Like I observed them while they were observing me. So I know how they work. I know every little thing. I've like paid attention to every little move that they make, and I can tell like for what it is. So anytime that I've ever messed up in the past, like it only lasted for so long, and then they got their kick, they whatever kicks out of it, and then it goes back to like kind of stabilizes and go back to normal. And then they're all like fucking trying their hardest again to like fucking regain connection to you and shit. Like at least for me. And this shit's happened like more than a few times and shit. I've been targeted for probably going on 12 or 13 years already. So it's just crazy, dude. Like the fucking the amount of effort that these motherfuckers put in, like it's crazy amount of effort, like just for one person. That's why it's like it like I just feel like overwhelmed at times because I'm just like, dude, like there must be a reason why they target us so um how would say like persistently. Is because if they give us any space or any like opportunity, we're gonna take it and we're gonna expand on that and we're gonna grow and like become stronger. So like if they take a break, we like will probably benefit from it. So that's why they try not to like give you any breathing room. You know what I mean? Like so I've already built like a mind state to be able to defend myself from their traps and their snares and whatever all the stuff that they have they try to plan for me. And whenever I do fall into something is because I chose to allow it to happen. You know what I mean? Like I already knew. Like I, if I have a thought, like they already know what I'm thinking. So if I act on that thought, I already knew that they fucking heard my thought. So if I go and do something, it's just like, well, dude, I already knew you guys were gonna try to fucking, try to slip some bullshit in my drink or in in the weed that I'm trying to smoke or whatever. Even though I don't really like touch too much. Like I'll drink maybe once every couple weeks or whatever. Like I stopped a lot. I used to abuse alcohol and weed more often, but I stopped. Like it just I need to take care of other more important things like finding a job and stuff like that and saving some money so I can get in a better position and help my mom find another place so that I can be with my family and like these motherfuckers can't really like go and mess with the poles right there because they already did all that shit on my street. So it's just gonna look too obvious if we move to another place and they try that shit. You know what I mean? So like I'm confident in the plan that I have. So if I want change, like sometimes you have to act on it. You can't just expect things to fall in your lap. Like you're gonna probably get, you know, targeted through the stuff that you have to go through, but doesn't mean for you to stop. You know what I mean? Like keep looking for that job. Like, dude, I find a way. Like no matter what, like if I had to put an AC in my window, I freaking built a contraption and I got some rope and stuff like that. And this window is like it's pretty hard to put an AC on it because it's not built for one because it's really thin and it's on a camper. So I had to build like this contraption and like like lean it up against it and like tie this rope and stuff like that. But I got it done, and now I have air conditioning in the camper that I'm staying in. So if I would have just been like divvied up, like it doesn't fit in the window, there's no way it's gonna work. I sit there and I ponder and I think of a plan and I find things that I can use. I'll look around my area. I'll find things. I assembled something. I'll be like, okay, this is the perfect amount of height for it to reach the top of the window so that it has a surface to lean up against. So, I freaking screwed some pieces of wood on it and I put it up and I got it to stand there. And so like just like I got the camper and I moved it, I found a spot. I moved the camper over here quick, got a new place to stay. Like they weren't expecting that. They were expecting me to stay there, honestly. Like I was even expecting myself to stay there. And I would have been getting fucked with like way more than I am right here, for sure. I know that for a fact. And the fact of the matter is that I left and they just barely installed this fucking new thing that they were hoping and planning on targeting me with. I only spent like a half a day there and I never went back. So they fucking did all that shit for nothing because I'm not going back there. And the next place that I find is only gonna be better because I'm learning, how to find houses like on dead end streets is the best option. Like, I have cameras to record. I have somewhat people that are supporting me and like starting to notice some of this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, so like it took a long time for me to like fight and like get to this position. You know what I mean? Like I had to like learn from like, other stuff, other scenarios and situations to be able to like, uh, plan my next move, like chest, and so like sometimes like people they give up because it's just like so much continuous gang stalking and targeting that they're just like, there's no way I'm gonna get away from it. You know what I mean? They kind of like give in to their targeting because they feel like they have no choice. So they're like, oh, I'm gonna try to ignore it. I'm gonna try to like, you know what I mean? Like give it to God and pray and like, you know what I mean? Like it only lasts for so long till you probably get like super pissed and like kind of like uh release some anger, like verbally, emotionally, whatever the case may be. But somebody can only be pushed for so long for so far. So like we're all human and we all like have a breaking point. So the reason that I do and I take these steps is not to get to that point. Because if I just sit there and allow them to target me, they're eventually gonna get to me, and then I'm gonna make a mistake and I'm gonna do something that I wish that I didn't. You know what I mean? Because it's all like that's what it feels like that they're aiming for. You know what I mean? To try to push you to the edge. That's what it feels like they're aiming for. But they always run away. Like every time you get pissed and I walk out there, they leave. You know what I mean? They don't want confrontation. They just want to mess with you, get their money, and bounce, and not really have no attachment to you. That's why they don't like to some a lot of these people they don't consider it personal. But when you're getting targeted by like a whole bunch of people in one day, it is personal to us because it's just those little moments and every single person that's around you participating. So you feel like an outcast. You feel like you're being prosecuted and stuff like that, and like nobody else is having to suffer what you're going through. Nobody else is dealing with this stuff. Like they're not targeting people like they're targeting me. You know what I mean? Other people, I don't see them getting targeted. They look happy. They're fucking laughing with these perps. They're all hugged up, buddy buddy. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem like they have too many problems, and a lot of them don't because they're fucking living on their knees and not on their feet. They choose to submit to a corrupt system. So that's what it is. That's what it is. That's the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. You know what I mean? Tomorrow's just another day that I already have been at. I already been there. It ain't nothing new. You know what I mean? But you seize the day and you do your best, what you can, with what you got, and don't never give up. Don't never give up, or they fucking win. No matter how many people I try to help, that's not gonna get me like to heaven or whatever. I'm not trying to help people to get to heaven. I'm trying to help people because it's the right thing to do. You know what I mean? Like I'm not looking for some type of like recompense for being a nice person. That's supposed to be naturally given. Going out of your way and being extraordinary helpful, that's more of like kind of, putting yourself more out there. You know what I mean? I just barely what talk to people, like try to help people, you know what I mean? Like that's nothing. There's people that like will give you your last dollar, they'll give you a place to sleep, they'll like try to help you at least. There's some decent people left in this world. Very few that won't mind helping you if you needed it. And I'm thankful for those people. People like that still give me hope that people can change. They don't have to be manipulated into feeling some way or uh participating in a way just because they feel intimidated or some shit. You know what I mean? That's not free will. That's fucking control. You see, if I was controlled, I would have just said, "Fuck it." I'd rather not get targeted, and I would fucking just join these fucking cowards, right? And I wouldn't be talking about this inspiration shit and trying to help people and stuff like that. Like, what's the point of that? It doesn't make sense. I would be causing strife in TI's relationships. I'd be causing problems. I'd be freaking getting a bad reputation amongst the TI community, saying that I'm a bad person because I'm sowing uh, strife and problems. That's what a perp does. You don't go and just help people and talk good and like expect them to go and trust you. I don't expect none of you to come and try to like, be my best friend and stuff like that. That's up to you. If you want to get to know me, you have the opportunity to. I'm not forcing anybody to want to have a brother and sister in God or in this system, this life. You know, just because I'm a compassionate person doesn't mean that everybody's gonna be compassionate with you. You know what I mean? Like only the ones that are strong and recognize their own kind are going to try to reach out to you. Those are the ones that are going to want to stay in contact with you because they know that you're a good person to have by their side because you're wise and you have good advice and stuff like that. So when the time comes and you need some of that advice or you need some help or somebody to talk to, they'll be there. But like you got to build the relationship. You can't just like kind of expect somebody to be there all of a sudden. You never really keep in contact with them. You know what I mean? Like they could only do so much for you because they don't really know you that well. But they'll try. But that's why it's good for TIs to try to build some type of relationship with certain people that they feel they can trust because this is a heavy burden to deal with on your own for sure. Honestly, I'm grateful for YouTube because if I never had this outlet, I would have never found out what gang stalking is, and I would have never heard so many good videos that I will never forget in my life that I got to experience, and certain people that I met that I would never have met if I didn't have access to this platform. So, in some way, like we kind of are blessed because we had an outlet to at least have some escape to. Some of these people don't have anything at all. No internet, no friends, no nothing. They still don't know what the hell's happening to them. That's a fucked up place to be because you fear what you don't understand or you fear what you don't know. So once you figure this shit out, it becomes a lot easier to deal with. It's not as harsh as it once was. But yeah, man, like shit. It's fucking late. What time is it? 3:43. Oh shit, those. Well, I'm gonna get up out your guys' way. I already know there's just a few people left that are actually really listening. I just wanted to freaking talk because shit, I don't know how much time I got on this fucking goddamn ratchet fucking planet. But I've seen a lot of beautiful things and I'm not gonna let anybody take that away from me. You know? So I'm out, people. You guys have a good night, get some sleep. I'll see you very soon.